So, test. This is a big deal. Today I got the C++ version of the game engine in a really working state. So it's basically replicating the same syntax and engine of the Jest JavaScript version. So like the thing about the Jest JavaScript version, you guys, is like that's actually really well coded. And I specifically coded it because I wanted to make it extremely modular. I wanted to have obviously control from top to bottom. And I've coded it in a way that it is very, very event driven and modular. And so like a lot of the things that you see like in the level editor, they're plugins. A lot of the things that you see in the game itself, they're just, plugins. It's very, if you look on the side, things are super object oriented in the sense that like you can plug and drop things into it. Which, obviously, and I know on the surface level that's like, oh, well, it aren't most things. Yeah, but like I've done this for, I've been coding for decades. So like when I do it, it's very, 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 very well structured and very well coded. So, this is just kind of the C++ beta version that I have going, which is now working. If I pull this up, you can see that it's being rendered. And so now I just have kind of like this generic simulation here. And so what this is doing, the on-wall detection needs put in there, but what I have is very similar to the JavaScript version where the player is being, it's a little bit laggy, it needs fixed up and stuff, but the player is being loaded from, let me see here. I wonder why that is jumpy. Maybe because I'm messing with stuff. I gotta fix that. But anyway, yeah. So the player is being loaded from the animations. So like the files for the Janny, so that the animation file is being loaded from the Janny. It's loading the images dynamically and asynchronously. There's good mutex in place. Things are being separated and downloaded separately. There's a nice class for downloading files and organizing them and accessing them securely. And so you can download, your images. You can download your animation files. It parses the Janny files into animation objects that you can attach to your NPC objects and your player object, which is what I've done here. So the animations, it takes the Janny and then it downloads the images that it needs, and it sets the image for the Janny for each of the parts. And so this is how you have the animation being interpreted here. And then of course you just switch the Janny direction for different directions and actions such as the sword. So that is being handled through the files in the back end, that players create. So that is definitely working. It's downloading things from the server, which is perfectly fucking fine and working, blah, blah, blah. The overworld, you pass in, your two-dimensional grid of levels, which you want to have, like the top row, the middle row, and all that jazz. I just threw, like, a single row of levels together here, so you can see that this is level 14, level 13, I believe it's level 17, which is just, the generic Grawl City fucking stuff that people know. So, it takes that map and it downloads the levels, and then it parses the levels into level objects and it blits them into the images of the tiles. And so the level objects are working. The definitions are in there. I just need to add on-wall detection and stuff. So it takes the definitions, it attaches the definitions. This is a little jumpy. I don't know what's going on, but again, I just got this working. So this is very much close to where the JavaScript version is, which means that when you're looking at this is 100% done in C++. So I can, change the size of that, right? I can change the size of this and make it the size of like an application for like iOS or Galaxy. And we just have a version of the game that works in the App Store, so you can have this in the App Store. You can do it in the JavaScript version. You can plug that, into Electron, which I've already done. So you can take the JavaScript version, you can run that through Electron. You can even stick it on your website. And then there's also the JavaScript version, which you can plug into an interface that just works with iPhones or, you know, any type of touch screens, you know, or Android. So this is now at a point where, you know, we don't really need Unix Mad. We've got the C++ engine going. Now it's just a matter of just like getting it, you know, perfected and stuff. I've got a mild account system working for the JavaScript version. I've got the level editor, which is badass. If you guys haven't seen it, go check my other videos. The level editor beats Grawl's level editor times 10. So go fucking check that out. There's no reason for you not to. The level editor is hardcore working. It parses and opens files, level files, it downloads and saves files. And I have an account system I'm working on for that, so it's going to be very much where your files that you're creating, you can do it through the browser, you can do it through an application that you download and just have it through your desktop. You can do it through anything. So the level editor was made in the JavaScript JEST Game Engine, and so that can be ported through, again, Electron or through the web browser. So, you know, I recommend more like a Chromium browser, so, you know, more along the lines of, even though Firefox is kind of like a Chromium, we're talking more like Chrome and Opera. So like the Chromium browsers are going to give you a lot more flexibility, especially with writing files, like reading and writing files a little bit better. But Firefox will still do that. It's just you have to download instead of saving directly to your computer, which is whatever. But I will be plugging that in, and the whole point is I will be plugging that into the account system, which is already mildly working with. And then that allows you to just save it directly to the server, and then you'll also be able to share that with friends and family and blah, blah, blah through the web browser, and people can check out your levels and edit them through the web browser as well. But anyways, so this is the C++ version, which is very important, right? Like, you gotta have the C++ version. You can't just have JavaScript, because JavaScript is very insecure. So the C++ version is a much bigger beast, but it does handle memory better. It does handle resources better. It is much more secure. And the other thing about it is it's very much more professionally portable in different ways. Not that Electron with JavaScript, you know, powered by, or JavaScript powered, you know, with Electron is not professional. It's just in a different way. So like C++, you gotta like having both of those is super fucking dominant and clutch, and that's what we've got here. So anyway, the C++ version took a lot of time to get the engine, but it's basically functioning the same way that the JavaScript version is, where the files are absolutely kind of set up exactly the same. The classes are the name, the structures, the folder structures, the way that it works, the way that it's, the syntax is obviously going to be a little bit different because it's done in C++, but at the same time, it's mirroring the game engine in JavaScript, the JEST game engine in JavaScript. So having this, why is that flickering? I wonder what's going on there. I wonder if it's the camera. Oh, maybe it's the camera, because it seems like when he's at the far edge, it doesn't do that. I don't know. But anyways, so yeah, so this got a camera that follows the player now. You can see that the player moves between worlds and levels and stuff. And these levels are connected directly through the overworld. This is not just a rendered, you know, giant image just to simulate. These are levels that are being processed, downloaded separately, connected through the overworld, spread into, you know, the illusion of a giant one world canvas, and allowing the player to traverse as the camera follows them from level to level in the grid. So this is very much at a point where, hey, we've got the ability to just make a game now. There's obviously a lot more to do, but the point, you know, one of the biggest things about like trying to get your own games and stuff going before is Unix Mad and Stefan just, they sat on that fucking game engine that Stefan coded, and just with their fat fucking asses just stole everything and forced people to go through their psycho fucking server, where Unix Mad then just stole everything, and because he's in a different country, you can't do anything about it. So now having our own game engine in C++, and coded fucking well, coded professionally, coded modern, using it's C++ 17 plus, using, you know, modern versions of C++, and having it mirrored with, you know, the JEST game engine that's done in JavaScript, which allows us to be portable, which allows us to be mobile and also through the web, and allows us to, the level editor that I have, which allows you to edit levels on the fly. You can edit it through a browser. You don't even have to download the fucking software on every fucking computer. I can set it up so that you can edit your levels through your fucking phone. Just pull up the web browser. You don't necessarily have to have an application to do it, because it is done in JavaScript and it's done in the JEST game engine. So anyway, having that mirrored back to back is super, super dope. So here's what we're going to do. moving forward, this is definitely useful. It's definitely viable, and I do have other graphics. I'm not going to pull them up now, but I have already begun redoing the graphics. So, one thing that people are like, oh, well, what, are you going to just use like the Grawl graphics? I'm not going to do that because I don't feel like dealing with, even though I have the right to, morally and ethically, I have the right to, and legally I have the right to. The problem is that UnixMad's been stealing all the fucking money and shit. So like, what am I gonna do? Like, argue, and Stefan holding control to the access to the code of the game engine, and then shutting it down as soon as they stole my stuff. Tricky fucking you. Tricky fucking you. It has taken me a long time to completely code something better than what you've done, at least in my fucking opinion. My engine has a long way to go to have a lot of the features that Stefan had, implemented, but that's just because I'm just getting started. But hey, it's working now. You can walk levels, you can edit levels, you can make levels, you can traverse levels, and it's probably coded a lot better than Stefan's code. I can pretty much near guarantee that because I'm just a better programmer than Stefan, at least when it comes to content management systems. I've been doing that. I've been doing content management systems for decades. I've done it in PHP. I've done it in JavaScript. And I've done it even in Flash before. So like, which is ActionScript 3. I've done it in ActionScript 2 before ActionScript 3. And so like, this isn't new to me. I know what I'm doing. It's very well done. And I am a free fucking man. I'm a free man. Of course, I've lost a lot, but here I have my own engine. Fuck you, Stefan. You can fucking suck it, you fucking queer. And UnixMad, you can jump off a cliff. I don't care.